Hey guys, got a request to work a few of these on video so you could review a little bit. I don't know which ones to pick really. Mention one of each type or whatever, so I'm gonna try a couple here. Let's try, I think if you can do two, you can do one also. So when you do two, it says figure out their zeros, plug -3 in the box. And I'm basically seeing if I get 0 as a remainder. If I get 0 as a remainder, that means -3 was a 0. So let's just go through there. I'm doing distributive here, I'm doing my synthetic here. And sure enough, I get 18 there, which means -3 was a 0, so I'm going to put yes. You would do the same thing with the 2 and see what happens. Number 1, you plug -1 and 4 in there. For example, if you plug -1 in, you're going to put -1 in the box and work it out. And if I'm not mistaken, I think we got like 10 today. And as a remainder, the remainder is the answer. So you can just put 10. I'm about to put 80 because I think that's what f of 4 was. 3 says find the zeros. This one says factor it. Punch it in your calculator, see where it crosses the x-axis, and let me see here. And it looks like it crosses a +2, so put 2 in the box, 1, 5, -2. And it also looks like it crosses a couple of other points, and you could try those also. It doesn't matter which one you pick. Do synthetic here. That's 14, 12, 24. Should get a 0. Okay, so it says factor here. So take what you have left down here, the x squared plus 7x plus 12. And we're just going to factor that. Factors of 12, that have to be 7, or x plus 4 and x plus 3. Then obviously don't forget what you started with, the 2, and put the opposite down here, x minus 2. Number 4 says find a function of that degree with those zeros. -2 came from here, 3i came from here, -3i came from this factor, and all you're going to do to solve that, and you can see it on your paper already, since those are conjugates, do those first, and you can just do first last on those, and then take the x plus 2. If you do first last on those, you should get x squared plus 9, and that's a 9 right there. I'm trying to hurry. And then just do FOIL, x cubed, 2x squared, 9x, and 18. Should be good there. On number 5, I'm just letting you set that up. That's all you have to do. I'm not going to make you multiply that out tomorrow, so you can just say degree 5, -2 has a multiplicity 2, so I'm going to put x plus 2 squared. That's the multiplicity, is the exponent. 4 is a 0, you write that x minus 4. Multiplicity 1, so no exponent. 2 is a 0, you write x minus 2. Multiplicity 2, 2 is your exponent. Number 6, just ask you for the other 2 answers, other 2 zeros. You can never just get one square root or one I as a solution or as a 0. Okay, if negative square root of 5 is a 0, positive square root of 5 is a 0. If negative 4i is a 0, positive 4i is a 0, and that's all you got to do. And number 7, given that 4 is a 0, so it's telling you one of the zeros, so if they tell you one, go ahead and put it in the box. 1, -6, 13, -20. Do your synthetic right here, and you better get 0 at the end, which I did. And then take what you have left down here, the 1, -2, and the 5, which is x squared minus 2x plus 5 equals 0, and then you got to solve that. Okay, so what I did in class today is I completed the square, which I think is the best way to go when the middle number's even. Half the middle, square it, it'd be +1. You get x minus 1 squared over here. Over here you get -4. If you end up solving that, I'm going to go ahead and just finish it right here. You get 1 plus or minus 2i. You can see that work on your paper from class. Okay, number 8, just make a list. Remember, when you make a list, you take the factors of the last number, 1 and 3, and put them over the factors of the first term, which is 1, 2, and 4. So you put 1 over 1, 3 over 1, 1 over 2, 3 over 2, 1 over 4, 3 over 4. And that's all you do for that one. Number 9, same deal. Start off with the list again. Factors of 27, 1, 3, 9, 27. Factors of 2 are 1 and 2. So you go 1 over 2, 1 over 1, 3 over 1, 9 over 1, 27 over 1. 1 over 2, 3 over 2, 9 over 2, 27 over 2. Sorry about that. 27, one thing's going crazy. 27 over 2. Then punch in your calculator. When you punch the function in your calculator, you're looking for a 0, looking for an x-intercept. There's one of these. Something in your list that actually is a 0. When I'm looking at that, the -1.5 is, which is -3 halves. The way you can tell for sure is plug it in your box, multiply through, you get 2, -3, 0, 0, 18, yes, it works great. That's an 18 down there. Bring what you have on the bottom like we always have been doing. 2x squared plus 18 equals 0. solve that. Divide by 2, you get -9. Take the square root, plus or minus 3i. Don't forget your original answer was -3/2, and you got that one. Number 10, domain. Domain is whatever, remember, for a rational or fraction, you cannot have a 0 on the bottom. So basically domain is all x except x cannot equal -4, because that would obviously make the denominator be 0. All right, let me clear out some of that stuff. Vertical asymptotes. Vertical asymptotes, whatever makes the denominator 0. So the verticals would be x equals 5 and x equals -7. Make sure you write those as equations as x equals, because they are lines. You need equations of the lines. Number 12, horizontal asymptote. Because the bottom degree is bigger, that means it's y equals 0 or the x-axis. Number 13, oblique means slant asymptote. To find a slant asymptote, only happens if the top degree is 1 bigger than the bottom, and you find it by dividing. So I'm going to put -3 in my box. Got a 1, 4, and -1. Let's go through the division here. Now you don't have to finish. You don't have to go to the remainder, because you can't graph a remainder. So the numbers you get on down here in your quotient, that's your slant asymptote, your oblique asymptote. 1x plus 1. All there is to it. 14 asks you for all that stuff. We just did a little bit of everything. The only thing we did not do were the x-intercepts and y-intercepts. And the x-intercept is whatever makes the top numerator 0. The y-intercept you find by plugging zeros in for all the x's. All right, I'm going to do 16. 16 factor first. X squared, good night. X plus 2, x minus 1 when I factor, which means my zeros would be -2 and +1. So I'm going to put those on my sign graph down here, -2, +1. Now, I need plus or minus signs up there, and the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to plug in a number and see if it's positive or negative. So I always plug in 0. It's just the easiest for me. I'll do it at the top up here. Plug in zeros there. That leaves me a -2, which is greater than 0, but all worry about is the negative. Is it -2, negative? It's negative. So where the 0 would be is minus. Remember, the signs alternate on your graph. I'm looking for greater than 0, which is positive. So I'm looking for positive signs, which is from -infinity to -2, and also from 1 to infinity. 17 is the same as that, so it's 18. I guess we could do one of these at the end. Let's go 20, I guess. 2 ways you could do 20. One is you can take your calculator, punch it in, look where it crosses. It actually crosses at 2, I believe. So you can put 2 in the box if you want to. Now, if you want to be honest, you can do the whole thing on the calculator, and you can be like, hey, you know, I see all 3. I can just do the 0 function, do left bound, right bound, and find them. 2 works. That leaves this, x squared plus 3x plus 2. Factor that. That's x plus 2, x plus 1. So here's my zeros. I got a 2, a -2, and a -1. The 2 came from up there, the -2 from there, the -1 from there. If you're looking at your graph, you should see x-intercepts at those 3 places too. So my sign graph, I'm looking at -2, -1, and +2. This guy's 0 fits right in here. So if I plug 0 in up here, all that leaves is a -4. And -4 is negative. So that's negative, that's plus, that's minus. Because this says greater than 0, I'm looking for the positive signs, which are between -2 and -1, and also past the 2. All right, now, that's one method. You could have also factored by grouping. You could have also just looked at your calculator, make sure those are zeros, and then just got the answer by looking at your calculator too. All right, so hope that helps a little bit. Come see me in the morning if you need me. I'll be here early. Just let me know, and I'll see you then. Hope it helps.